Hi, my name is Gwen Mc Hale. I'm a somatic therapist and educator based in the west of Ireland. And I wanted to make this little video to shine a light on a topic that usually likes to stay in hiding, and that's the emotion, the experience, the feeling of shame. Often we hear that shame and guilt are different, which they are. Guilt says, I've done something wrong. Shame says, I am something wrong. And I think that can be a very useful way of differentiating between two emotions that sometimes we aren't so clear about. They tend to overlap a little bit. Mm. But from a somatic point of view, the exploration of shame is broader, wider, deeper. How I experience shame in my body is a very interesting inquiry and can be really fruitful. So, for example, shame for me might involve a kind of a sinking sensation in my belly, kind of a sense of nausea sometimes, a contraction. Um, my posture might become rounded, my head down. The images we have of if you even imagine somebody who's in an experience of shame, what they might look like. You might imagine somebody with a kind of a rounded back or downcast eyes. Um, in some ways, it's a kind of a posture of submission, powerlessness, defeat. Um, mm. Of course, it's tied in with a sense of being unworthy or unlovable, inherently bad. Um, Obviously, not a very pleasant experience for anybody. And of course, saying that shame is like any other human emotion, um, happiness, sadness, grief, anger, guilt, shame. There's a whole plethora of emotions that we naturally experience as a human being, and none of them are bad. None of them are wrong. All emotions serve a purpose. Um, and the reason why we tend to just think of that as of something I don't want to feel, not helpful, should never feel that way, is probably because it feels so unpleasant, and also because we don't have a very good understanding in our culture of healthy shame. Shame, when we think of shame, we think of something that's toxic, a toxic shame, a shame that's hidden, a shame that is repressed, a shame that says, oh my God, I'm really bad. I have to hide. I hope nobody figures out that I'm so bad. Um, mm, yeah, so it's the nature of shame to want to hide. It's the nature of shame to want to keep a low profile and fly below the radar. And sometimes we might be aware of shame in ourselves, and a lot of the time we won't be. Um, I remember one of my first therapy sessions 20 years ago, my therapist saying, do you think there might be some shame in the field? And he's saying, do you know, I have no idea what that means. I don't know what that word means. Um, and I think that's a very common experience. I'm ashamed of myself, I'm embarrassed, I have a sense of those experiences. Maybe I did something, I was really embarrassed about doing it. They're all related, and it's worth kind of checking out for yourself, what's your sense of your relationship to shame? Do I know what it is? Do I know how it feels? How do I respond when I feel shame? Um, what are the things that trigger shame in me? So there's lots of things, and a little bit, one aspect of shame that we might sometimes find easier to relate to is so that inner critical voice. If I find myself thinking, "Oh my God, I'm so thick! I can't believe I said that," or "Oh my God, look at the state of me! I'm so ugly," or the projection, she is amazing, I'm really shit, or he's so intelligent, I feel really stupid, or whatever way it comes up. but this kind of critical voice of judgment and, putting myself down within myself or in comparison to others. This is a real sign that there's some shame going on. So when you notice that, see, are we trying to get away from it? Do we want to hide it? Do we want to hide ourselves? Because the more we can recognize shame and call it by its name, the less power it has over us. So if I can kind of say, as that therapist asked me many years ago, is there some shame in the field? If I can feel what I'm feeling or hear whatever this inner voice is saying, and kind of go, oh God, there's a bit of shame going on here, I'm in some shame. That can just help open up the space around it and create some distance between myself and the experience of the shame. So I don't have to be all in that experience. I don't have to buy into it. I don't have to agree that, yes, I'm a horrible human being. I can kind of go, oh, okay, there's a bit of shame going on. There's some part of me that's feeling really, really bad about myself right now. Oh, okay, isn't that interesting? Let me see if I can just kind of ease myself away from it enough to be able to witness that and to be able to stay present to that. The reason I'm talking about shame is one of the people who've been following my YouTube videos asked me to speak about shame, and in particular about shame in relationship to their body. And I hope I'm doing that. I hope I'm offering something useful to you right now. And there's so many layers of dimensions to that, like shame of my body. I think as women in particular, we tend to carry that one very heavily. We obviously live in a culture that really values a certain kind of female form. And if I do not feel I measure up to that, then I could feel a lot of shame. Women have been very, very shamed for their appearance, and that's been really valued as if we hadn't not much else to offer. So I find with shame, there can be different things that we meet. So we meet the very, very personal, unique to me, relational pieces, things that have happened, say, with parental relationships, particularly early on in life, inherited shames from our parents. My mother was for example, my mother was very ashamed of never having had a good enough education and believed herself to be stupid and passed it on to me. I think I'm stupid, that kind of thing. And then there's these like cultural shames. So women are shamed if they're not considered stereotypically beautiful. And that, of course, is a way of keeping us oppressed, keeping us in that position of shame and submission and less than. So there's big political pieces around this as well. And all communities of people who've been oppressed will share this piece around shame. And a lot of the time, the oppressors are carrying their own shame, the shame of recognizing that they have abused and had power over other people. There's nobody in the planet who's escaping this squirmy, uncomfortable feeling of shame. And so to answer the inquiry that this follower asked, what can I do about it? Don't try to run away from it. Don't try to hide from it. Call shame by its name when you feel it in your body, and feel it in your body. And know that what it's telling you is not true. You are not bad. You are not wrong. You are the same as every other human being, completely worthy, and absolutely fine as you are. And if I can create enough separation and witness from that place of my own inherent goodness, my own inherent okayness, and see, okay, maybe I've done things I'm ashamed of. We all have. Maybe there are things about myself that I don't particularly like, or things I really need to check out, and that I can do that from a place of knowing that I'm not inherently bad. That's a good first step. And as I feel it in my body, and I feel myself taking on this shamed, subjugated, put down position, can I notice that? Can I bring breath to that? Can I allow my body to respond? And often what we meet in that place is rage and anger. And of course, especially for women, where we've been shamed for being angry, so that might be a whole other layer to meet. But if I can feel the impulse of to bring me out of that, and there can be a sense of pushing back against the oppressor. And the oppressor, of course, sometimes is within my own body and my own mind now. We've internalized it. But if I can fight back, fill out, take up space, and meet that oppressive force that is shame, then there is really the possibility of great empowerment here. Okay. There's lots more I could say about shame. It's probably it for now. Take good care, everybody.